Laughter is one language everyone understands, and when dogs start talking, that language turns into pure joy. There's something magical about the moment a dog tilts its head, opens its mouth, and lets out a sound that feels just a little too human. In those seconds, stress melts away, worries pause, and all that exists is a goofy, lovable creature trying its best to be heard. Funny talking dog videos have taken over the internet for exactly this reason. They hit that sweet spot between surprise, innocence, and uncontrollable humor. Dogs have always been our companions, but these videos make them feel like comedians living rent-free in our homes. One clip shows a husky arguing back when told it's bath time, stretching every no into a dramatic performance worthy of an award. Another features a tiny dog responding to questions with perfectly timed barks, as if it fully understands the conversation. The magic isn't just in the sounds, it's in the timing, the expressions, and the sheer confidence these dogs have while speaking their minds. What makes these videos so addictive is how real they feel. Even though we know dogs aren't actually speaking human language, their reactions line up so perfectly with the situation that our brains fill in the gaps. A dog caught on the couch suddenly lets out a guilty sounding, "uh-oh," and suddenly it feels like it's confessing. A puppy howls back at its owner singing, matching pitch and emotion, turning a simple living room into a full-blown concert. These moments feel spontaneous, unscripted, and that's where the humor truly lives. Huskies, of course, deserve their own spotlight. Known for their dramatic voices and strong opinions, huskies dominate the talking dog scene. They don't just bark, they argue, complain, negotiate, and sometimes even sing. A husky being told it can't go outside might respond with a long, emotional speech that sounds suspiciously like a protest. The owner laughs, the dog doubles down, and suddenly the video becomes a back-and-forth comedy sketch that millions can't stop replaying. But it's not just huskies. French bulldogs snort and mumble like grumpy old men. Shiba Inus scream in a way that feels both alarming and hilarious. Golden retrievers respond with soft, dramatic sighs, as if the world is just too much for them today. Even small dogs get in on the action, delivering high-pitched squeaks that somehow perfectly match the chaos of the moment. Every breed brings its own voice, and that variety keeps these videos endlessly fresh. Another reason these clips are so funny is the contrast between expectation and reality. We expect dogs to bark, but when they produce something that sounds like a word, our brains short-circuit for a second. That split second of confusion is where laughter is born. When a dog appears to say, "I love you," or "hello," it feels like a tiny miracle wrapped in comedy. Whether it's coincidence or clever editing, the result is the same: instant joy. Owners play a huge role too. The best talking dog videos often come from owners who interact naturally with their pets, asking simple questions or making playful comments. "Do you want a treat? Who made this mess? Are you guilty?" The dog's response, be it a howl, bark, or dramatic groan, lands perfectly because the setup is so relatable. We've all talked to our pets like they understand every word, and these videos reward that habit in the funniest way possible. Then there's the challenge itself. Try not to laugh. It's a bold invitation, almost a dare, because deep down we know we're going to fail. You might start with confidence, arms crossed, face serious. Then the first dog lets out a perfectly timed, "wow," and a smile sneaks in. A few clips later, you're laughing out loud, replaying moments, maybe even sharing the video with someone else just to see their reaction. The challenge becomes less about resisting laughter and more about surrendering to it. These videos also have a surprising emotional side. Laughter releases stress, and watching animals be silly can be incredibly comforting. For many people, funny dog videos are a safe escape, a few minutes where the world feels lighter. In times when news feels heavy and days feel long, a talking dog arguing about bedtime can feel like therapy. It's pure, harmless fun that connects people across cultures and languages. The comment sections under these videos are often just as entertaining. Viewers create imaginary subtitles, give dogs personalities, and build entire storylines around a single clip. One dog becomes the grumpy uncle, another is labeled the dramatic diva, and suddenly a short video turns into a shared joke among millions of strangers. That sense of community is powerful. Everyone is laughing at the same silly sound, feeling the same burst of happiness. Technology has helped fuel this trend too. Better cameras, clearer audio, and quick editing make it easier than ever to capture these moments. A phone on a kitchen counter can turn into a viral hit if a dog decides to talk back at just the right moment. Social media platforms reward short, funny clips, and talking dogs fit perfectly into that format. One laugh leads to another, and before you know it, an hour has passed in a blur of wagging tails and dramatic howls. What's truly special is that none of this feels forced when it's done right. The best videos don't push dogs to perform, they simply capture natural behavior. Dogs are expressive creatures. They whine, groan, howl, and bark for many reasons: excitement, frustration, happiness, confusion. When humans interpret those sounds through a comedic lens, magic happens. It's a reminder that humor doesn't always need words, sometimes it just needs timing and a wagging tail. As you watch these funniest talking dog videos, you might find yourself looking at your own pet differently. That little grunt when they stretch, the sigh when they flop onto the floor, the bark they give when you grab the leash, suddenly it all feels like communication. Maybe they've been talking all along, and we're just now paying attention. That thought alone is enough to make you smile. In the end, the try not to laugh challenge isn't really about winning or losing. It's about letting yourself enjoy something simple and joyful. Talking dogs remind us not to take life too seriously, to laugh at the unexpected, and to appreciate the quirky personalities right beside us. Whether it's a husky throwing a tantrum, a tiny dog squeaking in protest, or a retriever softly replying with a sigh, these moments are small gifts of happiness. So go ahead, press play, and accept the challenge. You might last a few seconds, maybe even a full minute, but eventually a sound will slip through that cracks your serious face. And when it does, don't fight it. Laugh loud, laugh freely, and remember that sometimes the best conversations don't need real words, just a funny dog with something to say. As the laughter continues, part 2 of this joyful journey dives even deeper into why talking dog videos have such a powerful hold on us. By now, the smile on your face probably isn't accidental. It's the result of a perfect mix of innocence, timing, and the strange illusion that these dogs truly understand every word we say. In this next stretch, the humor grows richer, the moments get sillier, and the connection between humans and dogs feels stronger than ever. One of the most fascinating things about talking dog videos is how each clip feels like a tiny story. There's a beginning, where the owner asks a question or sets a situation. There's a middle, where the dog reacts with a sound that feels completely unexpected. And then there's the ending, where laughter explodes because the reaction was just too perfect. In just a few seconds, you experience surprise, delight, and relief, all wrapped into one moment. That storytelling magic is why these clips stay in our minds long after the screen goes dark. Some videos focus on dogs reacting to everyday routines, and that's where relatability kicks in hard. A dog, complaining about waking up early, groaning dramatically as if it has a long day ahead. Another dog argues when told it's time to stop playing and come inside, letting out a long, drawn-out howl that sounds suspiciously like a protest speech. We laugh because we see ourselves in these moments. Who hasn't wanted to complain about mornings or resist being told it's time to stop having fun? Then there are the dogs that seem to respond emotionally, not just comedically. A dog hearing its owner say, "I love you," and responding with a soft, almost whisper-like sound that feels like an answer. Even if it's just coincidence, our hearts melt. These moments blur the line between humor and warmth. You might laugh first, but a second later, you feel that gentle tug of affection that reminds you why dogs are called our best friends. Part 2 also shines a light on dogs reacting to other dogs, or even themselves. One classic setup is a dog hearing its own voice played back on a phone. The confusion, the head tilt, the sudden bark as if saying, "Hey, that's me." It's comedy built on curiosity. Dogs don't recognize themselves the way humans do, so every reflection or recording becomes a mystery. That mystery, paired with expressive reactions, creates some of the funniest moments ever captured. Food-related talking dog videos deserve special attention. Ask a dog if it wants a treat, and the response is almost guaranteed to be hilarious. Some dogs let out excited squeaks, others howl like they've just won the lottery, and some try to stay calm but fail spectacularly. There's something universally funny about enthusiasm that can't be contained. Watching a dog try to say yes without words feels like watching joy itself struggle to fit into a small body. What makes these moments even better is when dogs seem to understand tone rather than words. An owner might use a serious voice, asking who made a mess, and the dog responds with a low, guilty-sounding whine. Switch to a playful tone, and suddenly the same dog is vocal, bouncy, and confident. This shows how deeply dogs read human emotion. They may not know the words, but they know the feeling behind them, and that emotional intelligence turns into comedy gold. As the clips keep rolling, you'll notice how laughter becomes easier and quicker. At first, you might have tried to keep a straight face, reminding yourself of the challenge. But by now, the resistance fades. A single sound, a dramatic, roo-roo, a tiny squeak, a loud, awoo, is enough to break you. This is the power of accumulated joy. Each laugh opens the door for the next one, until you're fully immersed in the moment. Talking dog videos also reveal just how unique each dog's personality is. Some dogs are confident speakers, never shy about voicing their opinions. Others are more reserved, letting out quiet murmurs that feel shy but still funny. Some dogs interrupt constantly, barking over their owners as if they can't wait their turn to talk. This range of personalities reminds us that dogs aren't just pets, they're individuals with quirks, moods, and preferences. In part 2, the humor often escalates when dogs interact with unexpected situations. A dog hearing a siren and howling along like it's part of a band. Another reacting to a baby's cry with a concerned, talkative response, as if asking what's wrong. These reactions feel spontaneous and honest, and that honesty is what makes them so funny. There's no acting, no script, just pure reaction. Social media has turned these moments into shared experiences. One person records a funny sound, uploads it, and suddenly millions of people across the world are laughing together. In comment sections, people translate barks into imaginary sentences, turning a single noise into a full conversation. This collective imagination adds another layer of fun. You're not just watching a video, you're participating in a global inside joke. Another reason part 2 hits harder is familiarity. By now, you know what kind of humor to expect, but it still surprises you. That balance between expectation and unpredictability is key. You think you know how the dog will react, and then it does something completely different. That twist resets the laughter every time. There's also something comforting about the simplicity of it all. In a world full of complicated problems, a dog, talking, back to its owner is refreshingly uncomplicated. No hidden meaning, no agenda, just a moment of connection and fun. That simplicity makes these videos easy to return to, again and again, whenever you need a break. As the challenge continues, you might notice your own mood shifting. Shoulders relax, breathing slows, laughter replaces tension. This isn't just entertainment, it's emotional relief. Scientists often talk about the benefits of laughter, and these videos deliver that benefit effortlessly. You don't have to try to feel better, it just happens. The longer you watch, the more you appreciate the bond between dogs and their humans. The trust is clear. Dogs feel safe enough to express themselves, and owners are patient enough to listen, even if that listening turns into laughter. It's a mutual relationship built on love, playfulness, and understanding. By the time part 2 reaches its final moments, the try not to laugh challenge feels almost impossible. Not because you're weak, but because the joy is too genuine to resist. Each bark, howl, and groan feels like an invitation to smile. And accepting that invitation feels good. In the end, talking dog videos remind us of something simple but important. Happiness doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, it's just a dog making a funny sound at the perfect moment. Sometimes, it's the way an animal responds to love, routine, or surprise. And sometimes, it's the shared laughter of millions of people realizing that joy can come from the smallest, silliest things. So if you've made it this far without laughing, congratulations, but also, don't worry if you didn't. The real win isn't keeping a straight face. It's letting yourself enjoy the moment, embracing the laughter, and carrying that lightness with you long after the video ends.